December 21st, 2017. I just got back from Florida. We've been gone for the last few days. Drove over 3,000 miles in 4 days, delivering a 1926 Model T Ford. I'll give you a little bit more information about that in a few minutes, but first, a little background on the trip. John got this vehicle. John loves cars. John is my stepdad. And through the conversation of how he's gonna get this down there, I decided that, hey, maybe I could help. First off, Heather, you're absolutely amazing. I'm sure the last few days have been hectic. The trip, we left at about 3 o'clock in the morning. We drove straight through, took about 27 hours, and I won't spoil that for you, but first, let's get to taking a look at this vehicle and learning a little bit more about it. What is this, 19, what year, John?
1926.
1926 Model A, Model T?
Model T.
Model T. Boy, I know everybody back then was small. Holy cow. I weigh a fresh 220 and this is tight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down and deliver some milk. Cloth ceiling. Actually, there's a lot of headroom.
Yeah.
It's got air. Crank
Yes, it
windows.
does.
How's the windows work?
They slide up.
They slide up, huh?
And then there's a leather strap with holes in it like a belt, and you slip it over the screw on the door.
Oh, but they're plastic windows.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of wood in here.
Chicken wire for the ceiling.
Hey, that ain't a bad deal. Looking inside here, you can see.
The instrumentation.
Yeah, we got looks like on, off, and then amps on the battery. With that being said, so we got forward, reverse, and brake.
And your starter is at the heel of your right foot.
Ah, I see. Starter on the heel. So is this our medium, low, and high then? Or is that this over here?
That's the other lever.
Gotcha. And then this is our throttle.
Yeah.
I have one of these on my tractor. And then what's this over here?
I believe that's like a Spark Advance.
Spark Advanced. All right. What do you think of this, Ari? You want this for your first car? Are you in Bentley?
No, I'm not.
Maybe you could take it to prom when you get old enough.
No, Papa.
You'd be the only girl in class that know how to drive it.
But Papa, where did this broke your arm?
Oh, you told her before the crankshaft you could break your arm.
Oh, the crank up front.
Nothing in here, honey, would break your arm. Just up in front. You want to try it?
No.
No? Okay. Keep your arms connected to your body. Looking back here, this is a wooden box. Literally all wood. You can see here that we got steel rims. Those are for the torque. But looking underneath here, like John was saying, that's a 3-speed. Looking underneath here, that's the only steel is right here, and then the rest of this frame is all wood. It comes around back, and mess up my head. But looking back here, you can see that's still all wood. There's a metal frame that holds up into the rear axle and the leaf springs that were there. And then this here is just a wooden box. Let's take a look at the engine, should we? Engine, honey, is the thing that propels the vehicle forward or backwards. It actually, what it does, it takes fuel source, converts it into some type of magnetic power. So right here is our engine. You'll see right here, this is the horn, correct, John? That's the horn. This is your motor block. And then over here you can see that there's a leather belt. John was telling me before, back in the day, having a rubber belt was pretty expensive, so people would basically make whatever they wanted to. And as you can see here, this is the leather belt, and it's got some rivets in it to hold it together. There's the fans right there. Looking back, you can see the pipe coming from the cooling system. Right here off to our right, that would be part of the steering. And then there's our electrical block up here. And then you see the top here, those looks like spark plugs. Those wires there, those yellow wires, are actually going right into the spark plugs of the engine. So that's really all it is. I mean, my hand is about 6 inches, and what do you say, it's about 18 inches long?
18, 20.
Maybe 18, 20. So, and then coming around front here, you'll see that those are kerosene lamps. And like John was pointing off on the bottom here,
Daddy, you gotta own.
off to the bottom here, on the kerosene lamps is where you would adjust them. Those would be red in the back and white in the front. And then here's our headlights, our cooling system. And now the wooden spokes are for the front. And as John was telling us before, a lot of times if you were in a hotter climate, you'd want to soak these, and that would tighten up the wheel. Well, we made it to Beloit, Wisconsin. It's a little before 7 a.m. here. You can see the truck is wrapped up behind us. John's over here getting gas. Special fill up on this tank. It only fills up 1 gallon a minute, so we're gonna be here for a little bit. I'm gonna get some coffee. See you later. So you are currently looking at a gas station here in Indianapolis. They're out of gas. I can understand that if we were in Florida, but Indianapolis, come on. This will be our first tunnel in North Carolina. It's like kind of coming in the daylight. Oh my gosh, my eyes are just bright. Hey, you want to check all the straps on the gear and back, boss? I'd like to see what this looks like during the day. Tommy T is still in back, people. Well, it's a long bugger. What do you think, John? How we doing? Oh, now you don't have to see me for another 10 miles. So it's a little before midnight here. We are in South Carolina, and we just went to, it's called a QT, which is called Quick Trip. See, I'll show you the sign. Very much like the Quick Trip we have back home, but this place is amazing. They had like 17 different flavors of slushies. I should almost go back inside and show you, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do that before we head back to Wisconsin. But they had like 17 different flavors of slushies. They had like 20 different coffees on brew, and they had like 6 or 7 different natural iced teas that were all sitting there. But what I thought was cool is they had a roller bar. Now, this was not your traditional roller bar where you have like your hot dogs and your they had hot dogs, but it wasn't like the traditional Quick Trip roller bar. This one here, I was able to pick myself up a cold slaw Chicago dog, and then I also got relish and picagalo. It's amazing. I'll show you these here in a second. All the buns are steam cooked, so it's awesome. So showing a little bit of wear and tear. We just put 25 more gallons of gas in the car. We got a little less than 450 miles to go, and we're going to be in the sunny state of Florida. We made it, John. How do you feel?
Tired, stiff.
What time is it?
Yeah, it is
7 something?
7:30.
We got the sun up over here. There's our sun.
Yeah.
Just rising. Alright. We did it. 27 hours or something like that. We officially found something that's older than you. That still works.
Hell, this is older than Everett.
What do you think, Everett?
What?
What do you think? What do you think?
I think it's up.
Kind of reflecting on this trip a little bit, you know, we went through over 3,000 miles in 4 days, and the scenery, the sunrises, the sunset, God's country, it is just simply out there. It's everywhere. It's amazing how you can go from central Wisconsin to the Great Plains, into the Appalachian Mountains, and be in a coastal front, all within basically a 24-hour drive. It's quite surreal. So you can definitely imagine as we were bugging along, I was getting as much footage, photos, drone footage whenever we could. But I will tell you, I missed out on a few good opportunities. One, I did not get the sunrise that I was hoping to get. I was so tired. I woke up yesterday morning and I couldn't do it. Actually, the alarm went off and I didn't even know where I was, to be frank with you. And about an hour later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot the sunrise. So I do have a couple pictures, but I think I got some good stock photography to use at some point.